Okay, today we're going to be going over the muscles of the leg. So here's our leg model. Okay. And one thing to keep in mind when you go into your practical and you're trying to name these muscles, one thing to remember is to find the medial and the lateral side of the leg. The medial side will always have the big toe. The lateral side is always going to have the little toe. Okay. So again, if you are looking down at the toes, you can say that this side is medial because it's with the big toe side, and this side is lateral because it has the little toe. Okay, so let's get started naming some of these muscles. So we're going to look at the top of the thigh first, and then we'll go to the back of the thigh. Okay, so here you're going to have this long muscle right here. It's called the rectus femoris. Okay. Then you have on the big toe side, vastus medialis, and this is the vastus lateralis. So rectus femoris, the tall one that goes right on top of the femur, rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus lateralis. Okay. All of these together, 1, 2, and then both sides of this one, 3, 4, these quote unquote 4 muscles, there are really only 3 because this one just has 2 parts. These are also called your quadriceps. Okay. So if they have a piece of tape across all 4 of these and say identify these muscles as a group, then this would be your quadriceps. Okay. But individually, they're the rectus femoris, this big muscle right here, the vastus medialis, and the vastus lateralis. Okay, and all together, they're the quadriceps. Now turning in, you'll see, and remember, this is the medial side of the leg. Okay, so you see this sash muscle right here. This sash muscle is called your sartorius. Sartorius. This long straight one right here is called the gracilis. So the sash muscle is the sartorius. This long straight muscle on the medial side of the leg is the gracilis. This fat muscle between your sartorius and your gracilis, this one right here, this is your adductor, ADD, adductor longus. Okay. Then you have this one right here that goes down, it goes behind the gracilis and ends up here. So you have 2 parts of it you can see here. This is the adductor magnus, okay? Adductor magnus, ADD. Okay? So adductor longus between the sash muscle called the sartorius and the straight muscle here called the gracilis. This one is your adductor longus. Then this one that goes behind this gracilis and ends up here, this one is called your adductor magnus. Then we're going to turn to the back of the leg. Excuse me. So these together would be called the hamstrings. Okay, so if you pull your hamstrings, you're pulling the back of the thigh muscles. Okay. So this part here, which is towards the lateral side, so towards the pinky toe side, this one is going to be your biceps femoris. Biceps femoris. So lateral one is your biceps femoris. Your medial one is called the semitendinosus. So lateral side, biceps femoris. Medial side is your semitendinosus. Okay. Now this little bitty one right here, this looks mostly like, mostly white, and it's on the inside of the knee right here. This is your semimembranosus. So lateral side, biceps femoris, medial side, semitendinosus, and the little one right here in the back of the knee, semimembranosus. Okay. Now up here, this is your booty cheek. So this is your gluteus maximus. Okay. And then tell you what, we'll cover the lower leg in a minute. Let me pull this off. Hang on just a sec. Let me pull the booty muscle off. Lord have mercy. Okay, let me pause. Okay, so I pulled our gluteus maximus off. Okay, so remember the gluteus maximus was this big booty cheek muscle here. Excuse me. So now we're going to be looking at the deeper muscles. Get it where you can see it. Okay, so right here, this would be our gluteus medius. So right here, where this little hole is, and the one above it. Okay, so both of these are our gluteus medius. Then you have the next one here is your piriformis. And then you skip one, and then you have your obturator. So again, we've removed the gluteus maximus. So these are your deep muscles. Gluteus medius. This is your piriformis. Skip one, and then you have your obturator. Okay. And remember, you know that you're looking at your deep muscles because you can see the white hole where our superficial muscles would fit in on top in our muscle models. Okay. So that clues you into the fact that you're looking at the deep muscles here. Gluteus medius, piriformis, skip one, obturator. Okay. Okay. Okay, so down here, this is our calf, and we have two main calf muscles. This big one here, this is your gastrocnemius. Okay, gastrocnemius. Gastric means relating to the stomach, and nemi means leg. And I know this is not your stomach, but what they're talking about is it looks like the belly of the stomach. Okay, so they're talking about it looks like the belly of the stomach, gastric. Okay, a rounded belly. Nemi meaning leg. So it looks like a bell-shaped stomach down here on the leg, gastrocnemius. So gastrocnemius muscle is the superficial calf muscle. Now we can pull off the gastrocnemius on one side of our leg models. And now you're looking at a deeper muscle here because remember, you can see the white hole. Okay, so this is your soleus. Okay, so again, this is your gastrocnemius or your calf muscle, your superficial calf muscle. We can pull off one side of our gastrocnemius and you can see our deep calf muscle called our soleus. Okay, so now we're going to look at the superficial muscles on the front of the leg. Okay, so this is our tibia. Remember that big bone at the bottom of the leg that holds all the weight of the leg. This is your tibia. The muscle right beside the tibia, this is going to be our tibialis anterior. Tibialis anterior. So tibialis because it's sitting on the tibia, okay? Anterior because it's on the anterior side of the leg or the front side of the leg. Tibialis anterior. Then you go this next long big muscle right here. Excuse me. This is going to be our extensor digitorum longus. So tibialis anterior. This one is our extensor digitorum longus. Okay. And then this small one right here, this is going to be our extensor hallucis longus, because that's going to go to our big toe. Okay. This one's going to go to our digits. On the front side here, you have your extensor muscles. Okay, so this one is called your tibialis anterior, and these two are your extensor muscles. Again, this tibialis anterior. This one is your extensor digitorum longus because it's going to go to the toes or the digits. Okay, extensor digitorum longus. Then this one right here, this small one right here, is your extensor hallucis longus. It's going to go down towards your big toe. Extensor hallucis longus. Okay. Now I have removed the gastrocnemius and the soleus, our two big calf muscles, so that we can see our deep leg muscles. And you can tell that we're looking at our deep muscles because again, you have your little white circle here that clues you in that we've removed those superficial muscles. Okay, so the ones we're looking at here is this big one here. This is your flexor hallucis longus. So that's the big one here. You're thinking this big one goes to the big toe, which is your hallux. Okay, so on the back side of the leg, you have your flexor muscles. So this is your flexor hallucis longus. Okay. Now, on the other side of your blood vessels and your nerve here, this one is called your flexor digitorum longus. So on this side, the big fat one here, on one side of these blood vessels and nerves, this one is called your flexor hallucis longus, the big fat one. Remember your big fat toe, flexor hallucis longus. And on this side of the blood vessel and nerve, you have your flexor digitorum longus. And then, stand him up here. This one right here, right beside the fibula, okay, that's your fibula. And so behind this muscle, you would hit your tibia. So this one right here, this little muscle right here, is your tibialis posterior, because this is sitting on the back side of the tibia, okay? So your tibialis posterior. Okay, so let's go over those again. Okay, so this is the front side of the leg. This is your tibia. So this is going to be your tibialis anterior. This one is going to be your extensor digitorum longus. And then this muscle here, extensor hallucis longus. So tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, and extensor hallucis longus. And you can see right here, you can see your flexor digitorum longus if you kind of turn the leg a little bit. So you can see it from this side. So we're going to turn it around, and remember you're still looking at your flexor digitorum longus, and then your flexor hallucis longus, and then right here you're looking at your tibialis posterior. Okay, and those are the leg muscles.